I've been asked about the word socialism because people want to know, do I really believe the United States is socialist? Do I believe Democrats are socialists? Say yes, they are. They are socialist. But because socialism, that word has such a pejorative meaning, when you say, well, the United States is socialist, they you're crazy. You're black helicopter conspiracy theory land, and you're dismissed even though you're the one that's not ignorant. So what I think it's high time to do is explain what kind of defines socialism, communism, capitalism, and a very simple metric that I use to determine whether or not an economy is a socialist or a capitalist one. The metric I like to use is government spending as a percentage of GDP. And what that is GDP, as you may or may not know, is our economy. How much stuff we produce in a country within 1 year. So that's the size of our economy. And if you take government spending and you divide it by gross domestic product, that shows you roughly what percent of the economy is government. So if you make $100 and the government spends 50 of it, then that, it's a 50% tax rate. So you are probably a socialist economy then. Now, some economists will argue, well, that's spending, that's not revenue, but the problem in saying, well, we should really look at revenue as a percentage of GDP, which is lower in the United States than spending as a percentage of GDP, is that you're ignoring the fact that it's not revenue that determines your overall tax rate. It's government spending, because whether or not you have the money there, whether or not the government has actually taxed people enough to pay for all of its spending, the only thing that can pay for that spending is taxation. In simply having a lower revenue taken in, lower tax level taken in as a percentage of GDP while you're spending this much, this deficit simply accumulates into the debt, resulting in a federal government debt. And it's bad, bad. Sorry, that's an 80s thing that none of you kids will get. But what was my original point? Oh, you're merely deferring taxes. So the true measure of your overall taxation level is the spending, not the revenue, because of the hanky-panky tinkerings politicians use with debt. Now, a lot of people, because they're ignorant, you're just so damn ignorant, and you're too damn lazy to look this stuff up on the internet, say, well, what is government spending as a percentage of GDP? Well, in the United States, it's about 40% now. Now, we can split hairs as to whether, well, is that capitalist, is that socialist? It pretty darn well is socialist, and we spend more than a lot of European countries. I'll throw a chart up here so you can see for context, but the larger point of this is that, yes, we are a socialist country. Get it out of your heads that the United States is a capitalist nation. We're not. The people have voted. Now, they maybe are unaware of what they voted for because, again, the Jersey Shore was on. We can't miss that. Why would we look at the federal budget? But it's true. So, and I wish the Republicans would grow a pair and start calling the Democrats what they are, and that is socialist. They are the Socialist Party. I don't care why they call themselves Democrat. Democrat means, as opposed to a republic, the Republicans, Democrats meant a democracy. It was the form of government, not the level of taxation, what type of economy we have. They have abandoned a democratic, in its original sense, platform. Call the duck a duck. They're socialists. But I don't care. Your ignorance is funding my book in the future. So, if you're curious about this stuff, you don't need me to tell you. You can go look it up on the internet too. Toodles.